Hey YouTube, I just wanted to share some tips on how I settle into a room. And actually, before I unpack my stuff, I do like to take a look around at the room to see the overall condition, to see if I'm going to stay in that particular room or ask to be moved to a different room. So I'm pretty much looking for overall cleanliness and if there are any major red flags. And so I'll kind of share what we're going to do. And here is September in the year 2020 at the Hyatt Place in Las Colinas. And we just checked into a new room and we're going to go over kind of what I do before I unpack my stuff. And sometimes I've had situations where I might unpack my stuff and actually get to the evening time, about ready to lay down, and you remove the covers and you might find something unsightly and want to move. So you got to repack all your stuff, go to the front desk and ask them to move you just before you're ready to go to sleep. And you find something underneath the covers or some dirty sheets or something like that. And so it just happened on a regular basis where certain things were off. So I just became in the habit of, before I unpack, just to give a glance over the room. And so I'll kind of show you what we do here. And once again, for my last review, remember, I do use a small handheld flashlight, something about 300 to 500 lumens. The more the better, honestly. The blue light actually helps. So just to give you an example of how it helps is if you look at probably the center of the frame right now, it's the back of the door and it looks relatively clean. You don't see anything, but as soon as you shine a light on it, you see right there, there are smudge marks or fingerprints there. So it just helps create that contrast. It makes just these type of dirt marks, smudge marks, just a lot more pronounced. And you can see as well on the door handle. So if you look, it looks relatively clean. And right there, you can see that it hasn't been wiped down. And amidst what's happening with COVID, that's something, especially on a door handle, you'd expect them to be aware of and actually wipe down the front and the rear on the inside and the outside. So we'll get to that. And I carry a bottle of sanitizer, and I'll go ahead and grab a small wash towel from the hotel and just kind of soak it with water and then use a sanitizer and kind of wipe down all the surfaces after I'm done, once I find that the room is acceptable. So once again, with the flashlight, any dark surface like countertops, your desk, even the chair, the wood countertops. Now with the sofa, the last room I had did have some darker stains right here, probably some soda marks and whatnot. I don't really scrutinize this area too much. Now, unless my kids are traveling with me, but for me, I never touch this area. I put my stuff on this ottoman here, and it doesn't touch the sofa, and everything else stays off the floor. So I don't sit or place anything on the sofa area, just a habit. And I actually like the double queens, and I'll explain a little bit later why. But like I said, I don't really scrutinize. I might kind of look back here, make sure it's been vacuumed and overall just clean. Make sure there's no insects crawling around from food that's left over. But this is about the only thing. This ottoman is what I use. And I'll go ahead and wipe it down later after I inspect the room. So we'll start with the counter and the refrigerator, or depending on your room, it may be different, but you'll get the idea. The fundamentals are still the same. So once again, just the handle area and on the refrigerator, make sure that it's actually somewhat cold inside as well. The countertops have been wiped down. And once again, there's no insects crawling around because people tend to leave food. You don't know if the last person stayed here for a night or stayed here for a month. And they could have groceries and just left food and attract ants in that time being. And once again, I'll look at the condition of the chair, make sure it's suitable, that it does actually articulate. The thermostat. So I did verify it already. It's a common thing on hotels at the thermostat, just to uh, it, all hotels, they seem to have varying temperatures. So 73 versus what's 73 is not what it would be 73 on versus on your new home thermostat. And so you kind of have to just touch and go with how well the thermostat's going to work. This one I did verify that when I do lower the temperature, it does kick on the air conditioning, and when I kick it up at temperature to heat, it will turn the heat on. So you can see the overall conditions of the bed. And once again, we'll come over here and check the lining, see if there's any sign of bed bugs. You pull it back and all seems pretty clear. Once again, the carpet area does seem pretty clear too, and the headboard. And we'll go ahead and inspect the bathroom countertops as well. So no major red flags. In the bathroom, you have adequate toilet paper. And in the bathroom, the biggest thing I'm looking for is mold. I'd say if it's not obvious, then you're in good shape. So the vent fan has been dusted, which is nice to see. I'll check this mattress as well later for the same bed bugs, and just kind of pull the sheets back. Make sure nobody left a wad of hair or something underneath there. So in all the phones and anything with the light switch, I'll go ahead and wipe down after my inspection. And I look at the HVAC unit for ones that are set up like this. There are a lot of newer hotels that will actually place them in a small closet within the room. And you can just pull these out right here. And this is the filter for the air coming in. And you want to see that it has been replaced recently, like this one that has, nice and clean. This one as well. It looks fairly new, so pretty pleased to see that. So overall carpet, the beds, the countertops, all does seem fairly clean. You can see all the ottoman here. Once again, just some spots left over. Looks like soda, but I go ahead and I wipe that down anyways. I'll go ahead and grab a wipe, not a wipe, a wash towel, such as the small one here. And I'll just wet it, wring the water out, and then use a bottle of sanitizer, and then just wipe it down. So, starting with your high contact surfaces, you got your door handle, the light switch, the refrigerator, the handle there too, right? The chair, the armrest, the switch on the light, the top area of the light where you would adjust it, thermostat area. And also the thermostat area, if you find a lot of dust where it hasn't been cleaned in a while, go ahead and blow that off, just because it will affect the temperature reading of how accurate it will be. The remote. So you got the phone, the alarm, if you use that stuff. I usually just push it off to one side or actually just disconnect it. I have no need for the alarm clock or the phone. So I usually unplug them and just leave them on the floor. And then you can spray down both light switches, the headboard area. Come to the sink. You got your handle. All right, and just so it's any countertop, I'll go ahead and wipe down. And then you have your. So when you have the two beds, then you just have those options. And I'll go ahead and place my carry-on bag, place it on top of the bed, and lay out my clothes on the other end. So I don't like to keep anything on the floor. The only thing that I keep on the floor are my shoes, which I'll take off at the front of the door, and all my clothes, my bags. The laptop bag will go here. Once I clean it, that bag for food and whatnot, I'll actually go ahead and place it on top of the counter above the refrigerator. So that's why I like to have the two beds, just more options. If you like the king bed, you know, just because it's more spacious, I think for myself, the queen bed has plenty of room. So I hope you like it. If you do, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. I'll try to get back to all your questions or comments. Thank you. Bye.